What if your understanding of love and intimacy is merely superficial? What if the real connection between two people, especially as we get older, is deeper than what society has taught us? Could it be that love, especially in older age, isn't about big gestures or following social norms, but about something deeper and more pure? If you're over 60 and looking for a love that goes beyond the physical, this video could completely change the way you think about intimacy. It tells the story of an ancient piece of wisdom that has been passed down through generations. In it, a wise woman talks about the sacred, almost forgotten parts of love, intimacy, and human connection. The world may have changed what we consider normal, but the real secret may be how we deeply touch, listen, and honor each other. Are you ready to find out the truth behind love's most sacred gestures and how they can change your relationships today, especially as you get older? Watch this video to learn why real love after 60 is more than just seeing someone physically. It's about the respect, tenderness, and mutual understanding that come from a lifetime of experience. We will discuss how to establish a deeper emotional and spiritual connection, and why the most intimate moments often arise from the simplest, most vulnerable actions. So, if you're wondering how intimacy can stay fulfilling and meaningful as you age, or if you're looking for that rare connection that goes beyond the superficial, stick with us until the end. This might be the wisdom you've been waiting for. Discover the true meaning of love and closeness. Discover how emotional connections, not just physical closeness, make a relationship meaningful as we get older. Accept a new way to show affection. Learn how touch and respect can honor your partner in ways that words often can't. Unlearn the taboos of society. Find out why societal norms can hide the true beauty of love and how breaking free from these constructs can open up a new world of connection. Connect more deeply with your partner. This knowledge can help you build a bond that goes beyond the surface, leading to a happy, long-lasting relationship. Know your limits and find comfort in a world where emotional closeness can be challenging to achieve. Learn how to show affection with care and sensitivity, respecting each other's personal journeys. Watch the whole movie, because this old wisdom could change the way you think about love and relationships, especially as you get older. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our new videos. I can't wait to hear what you think about today's topic. If you like it, please leave a 1-star comment. If you don't, please leave a 0-star comment. I greatly value your feedback as it aids me in creating more engaging videos that align with your interests. Let's begin. A respected and learned old woman lived in a faraway village, surrounded by rolling hills and soft breezes, her knowledge surpassing her years. Her presence in the village was as constant as the stars, embodying the ancient wisdom passed down through generations. One crisp, starry evening, when the warmth of the fire danced against the cold night air, her soft yet commanding voice could calm the stormiest of hearts, and her eyes, worn from time, still sparkled with the fire of a life well lived. The younger people in the village gathered around her, eager to learn from her timeless lessons. As the fire crackled softly, casting flickering shadows on the walls, the old woman began to speak. Her words, though spoken gently, carried the weight of centuries of wisdom. She spoke not just with her voice, but with the depth of her soul, my dear ones. She began to scan the eager faces before her, emphasizing that the secret to true love, to the deep and intimate connection between a man and a woman, lies not in grand gestures or eloquent words, but in the soft, tender touch that speaks volumes where language fails. Love, in its purest form, is an unspoken language, a dance of souls woven together by trust, affection, and gentle devotion. As she continued, her voice seemed to intensify with the intensity of her thoughts. "Women," she said, her gaze softening, "are not just physical beings but creatures of profound beauty and mystery. They carry within them the essence of life itself, the power to give and nurture, to heal and create, and with that sacred power comes a longing for a love that transcends the ordinary, a love that expresses itself not through empty words, but through intimate touch, shared closeness, and mutual understanding." The young people. The rhythm of her words mesmerized Ed, who treasured each line as if it were a precious gem. The old woman went on to say that a woman's breasts are signs of life, fertility, femininity, and the very source of creation. They are more than just physical features. They show how strong, powerful, and vulnerable she is. When a man touches them with respect and care, he is not just showing physical desire. He is honoring her divine essence, her body, mind, and spirit. There was a quiet respect in the room as the kids paid close attention to every word. As the old woman spoke, the young people's hearts swelled with a newfound understanding. When a man caresses a woman's breasts with love, tenderness, and respect, she said, he is not only touching her body, he is touching her soul. It is an act of pure devotion, of surrender to the beauty of the moment, and a demonstration of the deepest form of trust. It is a shared vulnerability, a delicate exchange that goes beyond the physical and into the spiritual. As the fire kept going, the old woman's words lingered in the air, leaving the young people in awe and with a quiet, deep understanding of how complicated love is. They didn't say a word. Each of them was deep in thought, thinking about how much she had taught them. Finally, a young man spoke up. His wide, interested eyes broke the quiet. "Grandmother?" he asked, his voice soft but heavy with the weight of his question. "If this loving act is so holy and lovely, then why do some people think it's wrong and should not be done?" The old woman had a soft smile on her face. With her eyes brimming with age-old wisdom, she hesitated momentarily, as though the response she was about to offer had been patiently awaiting its appropriate moment. "My dear child," she answered, her voice full of both sadness and understanding. "People often stigmatize things they don't fully understand. They are afraid of things they can't control or understand yet. But true love and intimacy are never something to be ashamed of. They are the most sacred connection in the world and connect two souls. Those who call them shameful are wrong. I believe love in all its forms is our greatest gift to each other. What matters is not the act itself, but the thought that went into it." The young people were starting to understand the deep meaning of what she had said, as her words hung in the air like a holy chant. They were doing this while the stars watched over them. Now more than ever, the village felt alive and linked. The old woman taught them to love and be wise, and that brought them together. The world is full of taboos and biases. When the old woman spoke, her voice was soft yet strong, reflecting the true nature of love and closeness. These ideas, which come from fear, ignorance, and tradition, often make it challenging for us to see what real love is. Wisdom lies not in conforming to these shallow societal norms, but in seeing beyond them, in perceiving the deeper meaning behind each gesture of love and connection. It is only when we embrace this deeper truth that we can begin to experience love in its purest form. As she spoke, her eyes held a knowing warmth, as if she could see into the very souls of the young ones sitting before her. The fire crackled softly, casting shadows on the walls as the night deepened, and a young man, his brow furrowed in thought, raised his hand. His voice was filled with a mixture of curiosity and uncertainty, but the grandmother asked cautiously, "What if a woman doesn't feel comfortable with a certain kind of affection? What if she feels uneasy or even repelled? How should a man act then?" The old woman nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. She had anticipated such a question, and there was a deep empathy in her gaze as she looked at the young G-man. "Yes," she said, her voice relaxing with the knowledge that comes from thinking about things for a long time. "Everyone is different. Every soul has its own story, its own experiences, its own wants, and its own needs. Real, deep love isn't about taking someone over or claiming them. It's about respecting their journey, their boundaries, and their comfort. If a woman doesn't like a certain way of showing affection, it's not the man's job to force or push it on her. Instead, he should be patient, kind, and respectful, and look for other ways to show his love and devotion." The young people in the room fell silent as they listened to her. Their hearts opened to the deep wisdom she shared. They understood that love was not a victory, but a dance of mutual respect and understanding. The old woman's words had reached deep into their spirits, teaching them that intimacy is more than just being physically close. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please leave a comment below, number 1, to let me know you're still watching it. Before going on, the old woman stopped for a moment and looked over all the faces that were gathering. As she spoke, she noticed that many of you were thinking about what she had said. There was a small smile on her lips. If the story moved you or struck a chord with you, please leave a message and share what you learned from it. These stories aim to captivate our hearts, arouse our souls, and serve as a poignant reminder that love is not merely a verbal concept, but a lived experience. It's a process of discovery. The heart opens. She nodded, and the young people, feeling the weight and beauty of her words, paused to reflect in the soft light of the moment. The moon shone brightly in the room, and the air seemed to hum with the promise of a deeper understanding. One by one they asked questions, trying to figure out the complicated parts of love and human connection. The old woman listened patiently as always, her presence steady and grounded. Finally, as the conversation changed, the young ones, their faces filled with interest, leaned in eagerly for more of the old woman's wisdom. One by one, they looked at her, waiting for her next words with intense anticipation. She could feel their hunger for knowledge and truth, and she welcomed their unspoken questions with a serene smile, knowing that they were on a crucial journey. So, as the night went on around them, the old woman spoke again, her voice soft but full of power. "Now you want to know more about the secrets of intimacy, to truly please a woman in intimate relationships, my dear ones. True pleasure is more than just the feeling of it. Emotional resonance is what makes a real link. Starts in heart, goes through mind, then finishes in body." Her words were slow and deliberate, and each one carried its own weight. A woman wants more than just a physical touch. She wants an emotional connection that goes beyond the skin and into the depths of her being. To please her, you have to pay attention to her needs, wants, and unspoken wishes. It takes patience to listen, understand, and respond. You also have to be able to be vulnerable, open yourself fully, and give without expecting anything in return. She took a moment to let her words settle like a soft mist in the air. The young ones clung to each word, their hearts brimming with the understanding that genuine intimacy was not a possession, but a nurturing experience. It was the most precious present one could offer. The old woman kept talking in a barely audible whisper. Your presence, your undivided attention, your empathy, your ability to hold space for her feelings, thoughts, and emotions. When you give of yourself in this way, you create an unbreakable bond and a trust that goes deeper than any physical act. And it is in this trust, in this sacred space, that true intimacy is born, she said. The young ones learned about love and started to understand how sacred it is. They realized that intimacy was more than just a physical connection. It was a meeting of hearts, minds, and souls on an emotional, spiritual, and psychological level. They knew then that their love journeys, with all their challenges and triumphs, had just begun. The old woman began speaking with a soothing melody that seemed to echo in the hearts of those gathered around her. She paused, her eyes reflecting the wisdom of many years, as if she had seen the world in all its beauty and pain. Her words carried an ethereal weight that transcends the physical realm. They represent a sacred, delicate dance of connection, trust, and mutual surrender, a bond that demands care and patience. The fire crackled softly, and the young person sat transfixed by the depth of her voice, letting the meaning of her words sink into their minds and souls. To please a woman in intimacy. The old woman spoke in a soft but firm voice. A man must be present in spirit, emotion, and thought. He must be attentive not only to her wants and needs, but also to the unspoken language of her heart. She smiled, sensing the sincerity in the young man's heart. True intimacy is based on communication that is honest, open, and sincere. It thrives in a space where judgment has no place, and both souls can be vulnerable and authentic with each other. As they learned from her, they weren't just listening, they were starting to understand. Her words had begun to weave a tapestry of deeper understanding about love and connection. The old woman paused again, letting quiet stillness fill the room before continuing. "Dear friends," she spoke in a soft but strong voice, "I hope that the stories I've told you have touched your hearts and stirred up a deeper understanding of the deep beauty that exists in true love. These stories were more than lessons. They showed a way of being and connecting not expressed in words." The top layers. The young ones expressed their gratitude for the knowledge they had received by nodding their heads. They had not only listened with their ears, but also with their hearts. As the old woman spoke again, her voice was almost a whisper, but still strong. These tales demonstrate that love transcends boundaries. What can you see or touch? A sacred invisible thread connects two souls, requiring trust, mutual surrender, patience, respect, and a willingness to meet each other where they are. It's about being present, not only physically but also emotionally and spiritually. It's about giving your true self without mask or fear. She smiled, and her eyes twinkled with a warmth that seemed to go beyond time. We also learned how important it is to communicate openly. True love isn't about guessing or assuming. It's about making a space where both people can talk freely and where vulnerability is met with understanding and care. It's about respecting the other person's feelings, needs, and boundaries, and letting love grow in a space of mutual respect and acceptance. Aside from the sound of the fire, the room was quiet. Fires. As the old woman's words sank into the young ones' minds, they nodded in respect. The lessons were profound, and they understood that they would carry them with them, shaping their future love and connections. "Now," the old woman softly smiled, "I want you to think about these stories, please. What lessons have you taken from them? What truths have you discovered within your own heart? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If the stories have touched your soul, leave a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Wise Old AG Stories channel for more inspiration on love, wisdom, and the beautiful connections that make us whole." Her voice was filled with a quiet sense of peace as she finished speaking, knowing that her words had found fertile ground in the hearts of the young ones. The fire continued to burn brightly, casting shadows that danced in harmony with the spirit of the evening, a spirit of learning, of growing, and of connecting in the most profound ways as we come to the end of this powerful journey. I want to ask you, what's the most important lesson you've learned about love, intimacy, and connection today? Is it the importance of respecting each other's boundaries, or perhaps it's the realization that true intimacy is about more than just physical touch. It's about deep emotional connection and mutual understanding. Take a moment to reflect on the lessons you learned today and consider how you can apply them to your own life. What actions will you take to increase awareness in your future relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please let me know how this video has changed the way you think about love and closeness. If you liked this video, please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have more life-changing videos and wisdom stories coming your way. Until next time, may your relationships be full of love, respect, and the deep connection that only wisdom and experience can bring.